Recording in progress.
Very ill.
Ms. Gwen, we've just been joined by Michael Randolph. He's down in Tampa. Michael, you got that other volume on?
You can't hear me?
I can hear you. We had a little feedback there. What are your thoughts on the interview thus far? We're talking with Ms. Gwen Levi. We're talking about returning citizens. We're talking about the fact that America has 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's inmates. We're talking about the havoc it wreaks on the Black community nationwide. Your thoughts?
Oh, she's an awesome lady.
Incarceration of Black men. Maryland, would you believe?
Maryland
has the largest incarceration of Black men.
Maryland lock up more Black men than any other state.
Yes. Yes.
Come on in, Michael Randolph.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, this is an awesome lady that you have interviewing today. She's somebody's mind. I think everybody knows somebody that's been affected by the criminal justice system. The fact that she's able to come home and tell her story shows that she has a purpose. She really does. The other thing is that when people come out the system, most people are subjected to remain under the bus for the rest of their life because of one particular or two mistakes that they made. So I think that we're in a crisis when it comes to the prison system. I'm just so happy to share this platform with her and to hear her story.
Okay, so Ms. Gwen, who are some of the other people in the city of Baltimore who people should have in their network? I mean, I guess I'm thinking indirectly about Rudy, Rennie, and those guys. Tell me about your support network.
Rennie Bass, owner of the Cultural Center.
She must be having problems with her phone.
Community organizations.
Kind of like I'm left behind. Can you hear me, Donnie, or what's going on? Excellent. So you can hear me now?
So, Ms. Gwen, you mentioned Nicole Hansen. For those who don't know, who is Nicole Hansen?
Out for justice, young lady, powerful, dynamic, energetic. She got energy like you wouldn't believe.
Yes, she does.
Yes, and her organization is doing a lot of participatory defense work. They're going to court with people. They're going to pick up people and making sure that when they come home, they have the services that they need. Her program does all kinds of trainings, and it's the same with Maryland Justice Project. They kind of like work together, and they join forces with one another, and they do programs. Maryland Justice Project has a program that I was talking about that free. If anybody needs computer literacy or to know more about how to use your laptop and all that stuff, call Miss Cooper at Maryland Justice Project. She has a class free on Saturday, every Saturday.
Okay, let me give Michael Randolph a chance to chime in here. Mike, what are you doing? What are you seeing done now that you abandoned us in Sandtown and moved down there to Florida, the vacation capital of the world? What are they doing there? What are they doing there in Florida? Because Florida ain't all that kind of Black people either. I still can't
man.
Martin and George Zimmerman.
No, Florida is not that kind to Black people. As a matter of fact, if you do a crime in Florida, you're gonna do 75% of your time, just like the federal system. So when you go in, you're going in just like on the federal system. But what we're doing, because we realize that when it comes to returning citizens, the current system does not work for them. That in order for them to be successful, they have to start their own business. So we started this thing called e-commerce home-based e-commerce home-based business, where they can start their own business, painting, whatever they skill they had to start their own business in order to be productive members of society. Because the traditional ways that it's set up, if you got a record, you either going to get a low paying job or you're going to get no job. What we're seeing now is a lot of people that's returning as from the system and they turning and they starting their own business. Now they able to be productive members, and guess what? They don't go back, and guess what? They hire other members from that particular category in order to work and get them to where they need to get at.
So, Ms. Gwen, can you relate to that?
Yes, definitely. Here in Baltimore, some organizations are doing the same thing. You know, we're trying to entrepreneurship classes, living classrooms, Safe Street, all those programs are offering opportunities for young people to develop those entrepreneurship skills. So, yeah, in Baltimore, we see the same thing. A lot of people can't come home and get jobs. They're not, you know, but they have ideas, they have talents. And so a lot of organizations are teaching people how to develop those talents. Pratt Library is getting ready to start an entrepreneurship program for the young ladies who are coming out of Jessup. Former income people who've been home 3 to 6 months. Look for a program at the library. Entrepreneurship training. They want to help people. You know, there are organizations that are doing that right here in Baltimore also. We see the need that everybody doesn't have a job skill. But there are organizations that not only giving you job skills, but teaching you how to have your own job so that you too can employ some more people.
Ms. Gwen,
so many talented people here.
Ms. Gwen, I'm going to ask you because I don't know. When a person becomes incarcerated, when they have to do a bit, how difficult is it for a person to focus on learning a new job skill?
It's difficult. It's difficult because a lot of places don't have any programs that you can learn a new job skill. A lot of places you're just doing time. So it's imperative of us that the system is not working. You
used to could get a college degree. I would hear about so many dudes who got college degrees while they were incarcerated.
Well, we've been blessed that the Pell Grant has been returned. It has stopped, but it has been returned. So that opportunity is going to become available to those who would like to avail themselves of getting a college degree. There are now programs. They're allowing some new programs to go into the prison system. So I would believe that anybody who's inside, start asking questions before you come outside. Don't wait. Don't wait until you get outside. We got to start revamping that prison system from inside out. A lot of us are doing the work on the outside, but a lot of us, even down in Tampa and even in Florida, we got to go back inside and start making those caseworkers talk about the programs, let the people know that there are things that they can do before they get out here, that they can prepare themselves so that they'll be better prepared when they do come out here. I was fortunate to be in a prison at Jessup that allowed a lot of programs to come in. We did conflict resolution. We did we did an entrepreneurship class, you know, those kind of things. So I was blessed with that. But most prisons don't have all that. They don't.
Ms. Gwen, I want to tell you that the man who developed STEM City USA, this show got an Emmy nomination from the Academy. And it was because of people like Dr. Tyrone Taborn. He has launched a initiative called Locked Out No More. It is a bold and revolutionary voting rights initiative designed to restore the democratic right to vote to disenfranchise individuals with criminal records. Dr. Taborn and others want our people to know that they still have the right to vote.
We we worked on that last year here in Maryland a lot. They got the right to vote back, and here in Maryland last year, before the election, we found out a lot of people didn't know it. So organizations like Out for Justice, Maryland Justice Project, Black Girls Vote, all those organizations rallied last year to make sure that the formerly incarcerated people knew. We had buses that went all through the state, making sure that they knew. We visited prisons to make sure that everything was set up inside the prison with the League of
Women Voters.
League of Women Voters and Board of Education. Board of the Voter Education. The Education Board.
Were there any Black organizations involved, like the NAACP or the Urban League?
Yes, they were, but my initial involvement was with, like I said, nonprofits. Like they have a coalition called Expand the Ballot Coalition. That coalition involves all those organizations around the state, not just the city, but around the state, to make sure that people know their rights. We're now in the process of beginning to voter education so that next year we'll get all the support we need to get some of these bills passed. So voter education is one of the main keys. And you have that right in the state of Maryland. When you first come home, you can register to vote. When you go get your driver's license, you can register before you even get out of prison. And that's what we're saying to the prisons and the institutions. Make sure that those people, ladies and men, know that they can register to vote. And when they come out, find an organization, NAACP, National Action Network. There are organizations all over the city. I can't begin to name all of them. And if in this interview, ladies and gentlemen, if I don't turn around Tuesday, any of our organizations, if I don't say your organization, please forgive me. They're coalition organizations that do the voting stuff. Build, Turn Around Tuesday, Expand the Ballot Coalition. I can name 1,000 coalitions, but like you say, last night, again, I go back to what you just said about STEM City. Last night, I met some guys. They have programs, that my brother's keepers, you got to get them on. I say it again, you got to get them on.
Michael Randolph, your thoughts? I see you there. I don't want you to feel left out. Any thoughts?
Yeah, this lady is awesome, man. I could sit back all day long and just hear her story. But one of the other things we're doing when it relates to people that's returning back to return to citizen, is to teach them how to invest. Now, $1.8 trillion being spent by African Americans every year. We're teaching them how to do crypto, how to do stocks, how to do bonds, all that stuff in order to keep them out. But more importantly, what we're doing is to make sure we go into the system like six months before they hit the streets, in order to get them ready for the community, to get them introduced back into the community, to be part of the community. So that's important too, because a lot of people come out and they got nothing. They have no support. But we're getting them ready so when they hit the streets, they already connected once they hit the streets.
Donnie?
But I think that's important, man. Changing the narrative when it comes to invest, not only for returning citizens, but for everybody. Teaching them all about stocks and bonds, NFTs, all those things, in order to keep them economically above board. I'm surprised I'm speechless today because this lady
hold on, Mike. Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Gwen.
When he mentioned going back into the system, going back into these facilities, there are organizations like No Struggle, No Success, a guy named Stanley Mitchell. They go back in, they go to court with people, they help people to get out. Not only do they go back in the institution and help people to prepare for coming home, when they come home, they have a place for them to come to where they can get some necessary skills if they need any kind of wraparound services. So what he's saying is so important. Starting inside and coming out. We can't just wait until they get out, So anytime you can have an avenue like he does that goes in, it's awesome. So I applaud the work that they're doing, especially when you say Florida, because right now they're telling all black people to stay the heck out of Florida. So, to see that there are people down there that are doing the work, it's great. Continue, brother. We love to hear what you're doing.
Tell me more, Michael Randolph. What else y'all got?
I'm speechless, man, because I'm just listening to this lady. But I think that we even teaching, more importantly, the average youth. how to start a business, so they won't enter into the system. Teaching them technology like how to use finance, how to use stocks and bonds. We're teaching them the same thing when it comes to people that's returning from the system. We're trying also to make sure that we try to get those records expunged to the extent possible, so they can know they're really a whole citizen again. But more importantly, we know that the system is designed to send us to jail. It's not by chance that we're going to jail in large number. We can go all the way back to the way they put drugs in our community. And I can go back on and on again. You know, it's surprising they're trying to figure out why so many blacks are going to jail. Well, you created the conditions in order for black people to have no option but to go to jail. But I'm really impressed with this person right here, girl. She's really doing awesome things. And you know what's important? Only people that walk that trail can talk to other people. So with her background, she can talk to other people and encourage those people really to be about the change that's necessary to change the community. But those are some of the things that we're doing related to the returning citizen population, because you know, Florida don't love black people. Well, I'm not going to say Florida, but the governor does not love black people, and that's why we're struggling here and then Florida in order to just be able to make it. But we're turning the system around.
Miss Gwen, I'm going to share some of the comments. Amen, Miss Gwen. I hear the emotion in your voice. Mike Randolph, great to see you, my brother. Coppin State has one of the largest degree program with the penal system in Maryland. And then the most recent comment from Tamira Washington, reentry should begin the day you get incarcerated. Miss Gwen, any message to our young people who are standing on the corner of Pennsylvania and Lawrence all day, smoking weed, selling weed in front of the police? Any message of hope to our young people?
Yes. One message is take 2 steps off that corner and look at your library. Second message is take 2 steps off that corner and go back home and talk to your mom and tell her, look, Mom, we got to do something different. Let's call around and find out what we can do different. There are so many places. Stop saying that there's nothing out there for you. Take that same initiative that you got up this morning and when you got on that corner. Take that same initiative to call one of those organizations and go visit them.
Okay,
man. What they can do to help you.
Now, Ms. Gwen, I gotta ask you. You live in Baltimore. Where have you traveled to help returning citizens?
What do you mean, where have I traveled? Outside of Baltimore City?
Yeah, to help returning citizens. Where have you been?
I went to Atlanta.
What was in Atlanta?
Atlanta was one of the biggest conferences that I went to. The formerly incarcerated family and friends network. It's a network that has formerly incarcerated people from all over. Every state was represented in Atlanta, and they doing voter registration and voter education and reentry work for citizens all across the country. I went to New York with a guy named Victor Pate.
Mr. Victor Pate.
Yes, you know Victor Pate. Thank you for that introduction. I went to New York with Victor Pate to be on the National Action Network Criminal Justice Panel. I've been with an organization called FAM in Washington, D.C., talking to our state senators. I was with Senator Van Hollen a couple of days ago in his office, letting them know about the different bills that are coming up and how they're cutting the funds for public defenders' offices, which we need. Lobbying down in Washington, D.C. with Out for Justice, Maryland Justice Project, all last year. There's an organization called Maryland Cure. It's a national organization that does lobbying, legislative education.
You've been to Annapolis.
Annapolis so many times. Oh, God. Mr. Carl Snowden is down there doing some work.
Go, Carl Snowden. Go, Carl Snowden.
Yes, with the Public Safety Committee. He has an organization called the Congress of African American Leaders. I'm on that Public Safety Committee. We go into the prisons to make sure. Last year we were in there making sure that they knew that they had the right to vote, and that the institutions was putting the ballot boxes and things in places where residents could get to them. We also were able to go and talk to state's attorneys about the Integrity Network. Aisha Braveboy. It was then Marilyn Mosby. Tribute to her.
You know, Aisha Braveboy. Yeah, Aisha Braveboy could end up being the next county executive of Prince George's County.
And as she should. I would come over there and support her and advise all my Prince Georgians to support her.
She got a birthday party coming up in a week or so.
Okay, well, maybe I'll send her a shout out to that. I don't know about going to the party, but at least I'll send her a shout out. Listen, her office has an integrity and conviction unit that I went and visited and talked to. They were instrumental in getting no struggle, no success to become a partner with them to so that when they have people who are coming home from Prince George's County who come to Baltimore, they're connected with no struggles. So state's attorney's office are not just about convicting us, at least some of them are. They're about helping those who deserve that help. So shout out to Aisha Braveboy. Hopefully our new state's attorney here in Baltimore will take that same kind of avenue. I haven't had much contact with him, but I'm hearing some good things. So I look forward to working with him also. You know?
So let me bring in Michael Randolph. Michael Randolph, you wanna chime in?
Yeah.
We ain't bring you on for your pretty looks. We brought you on for you to deliver some content.
So what we're doing, Donnie, in order to deal with the youth on the corner is to get them to start their own business. That's how you get them off the corner. I can't emphasize home-based e-commerce. As a matter of fact, my business is home-based. Everything I do in my business is done out of the house. If you get those young people to be entrepreneurs, they will leave the corner. Unfortunately, what we're doing is to get them to leave the corner for like a minimum wage job or jobs that don't pay that much. Starting their own business changed the whole narrative. We got one group that's a paint group, young people going around painting houses. We got another group of young people cutting grass. They are making money. And that's what we have to do in order to really take those young people. I see Mike Haynes is there. How you doing, Mike? But that's what we need to do in order to change that narrative when it comes to young people. And then we need strong communities. In West Tampa, let me tell you about this community. Nobody gets into this community without checking in with the community first. A lot of neighborhoods, you have people coming in, developers coming in and doing what they want. When you got a strong neighborhood, then you got people that are going to definitely control the process in that neighborhood. I like to talk about that this one day when you got a free time about how does community empower themselves and control that neighborhood. What they're doing in West Tampa is similar to what they did in Sandtown when the empowerment zone came together, when all the community came together and had the power. That's the same thing that's going on in West South Tampa now.
But there's a certain apathy, Mike. People are tired of nonprofits. They look at nonprofits that come through places like Sandtown as poverty pimps, and they don't care if they black, white, purple, or green. People are tired of nonprofits coming here. We coming here to help you black people become empowered, and they make these fat salaries and move and go back to Columbia and really don't care about the community. Or they come here and want to tell people how to live when nobody asked them to tell them how to live. We asked you to bring some resources. Yes, Ms. Gwen.
Did you hear what he said? He said,
excellent, Donnie. You put it to the...
He means neighborhood associations. Places like
it's hard. Well,
don't have too many.
Well, Miss Gwen, Miss Gwen, easier said than done. We've been trying to do the Miss Gwen. Let me finish, Miss Gwen. Easier said than done. When you talk about Sandtown, you're talking about the worst socioeconomic factors in the state of Maryland. You're talking about a community where a lot of the leaders have died. A lot of the leaders have moved on. So you're left with really everyday people who are just trying to make it from one day to the next. It's easier said than done.
Yes, it is. But if they see...
That's true.
community, that neighbor next door, walking out of her house, and she says, "Where are you going?" "Oh, I'm going up to the school. They're having a meeting tonight. Come on, join me." That's what I'm talking about. The individuals. I'm not talking about great big organizations. We got to each one teach one. We got to go back to that. Take your neighbor. If you know of a meeting that's going on in your neighborhood, that or a school or a store that's allowing those guys to stand out in front of it, take 5 of your neighbors and sit
Miss
down.
Gwen, that's a kind of misstatement. The business owners do not want drug dealers standing in front of their stores. But this is what happens. They've called the police so many times on these drug dealers. There are a limited number of police. The store owner ends up getting into trouble because these drug boys won't leave. There's one cat, I swear to God, every day I hear his voice. Now I'm talking about 3 blocks away. I have to catch myself because I want to take a bat over there and knock him upside his damn head. You can hear him touting 3 blocks away. And it's like, I know the people over there are sick of him. So it's easier said than done. Some of our people.
And we need to go down to the police station.
Come on, Miss Gwen. Come on, Miss Gwen.
Come on. What we gonna do? Just keep saying what we can't do?
No, one day I'm gonna run over there and I'm just going. One day I'm gonna run over there and I'm gonna tackle them.
And then I'm gonna have to.
No, I'm gonna have all black on and I'll have my escape mechanism already available. But I just want to hit him like Ray Lewis coming across the middle. I just want to hit him with an elbow and knock his damn head off because you got homeowners all around and this fool just thinks it is normal to stand out there and say blue tops all damn day. It's us. A lot of it is us. It's insane.
I feel the same way. I felt the same way about the squeegee kids. You know why? Every car in Baltimore has a button you push that washes your windows. I don't need you to wash my windows, youngin'. I need you to go to the store, cut my grass. Do what that guy says. Start something. You know, it started out as a good thing, but now we have all this automated system. We don't need you.
Okay, well, what about the white addicts?
I need you.
What about the white addicts that come up to you? What about the white addicts? What about the white addicts that come up to you? Let me finish. Let me finish. What about the white addicts that come up to your car in a black neighborhood looking all pitiful? And I mean, I'm just as violated by that. How dare you come to this black neighborhood that you still got real strong sentiments about January 6th and climbing the walls of the Capitol, and you gonna come to my neighborhood and call me a nigga?
And guess what? Who is setting out? Why they still on that corner? Somebody in our neighborhood is giving them 10 cents.
And I've seen it. I've seen black people give the white addicts dollars.
That's right.
But they won't give a squeegee kid $1.
I'm saying don't give none of them nothing and get them off them corners.
I'm gonna give a squeegee kid $1. He out there trying.
Well, I think there's better things he can try than stand on the corner and get in the way of the traffic. I think there's better things that he can try to do. That's just my personal opinion. I love the young man. I don't just tell him no. I tell him there's a program that's feeding people such and such a place. They can use somebody to help them. There's this or that. I speak to him. I talk to him. I try to encourage him. But yes, I let him know. Come on, there's something better you can do. And like I say, each one teach one. That's just my personal opinion. I think that there are opportunities like Living Classrooms who's taking these squeegee kids. The mayor's initiative right now that's offering them entrepreneurship training. Yeah. You
know, this city could do a lot more. I heard you mention Living Classrooms. Let me tell you, Living Classrooms gets a lot of damn nonprofit money, and they just ought to be giving back because they've been pimping our community for a very long time. But that's a show for another day. Miss Gwen, any final thoughts? And then I'm gonna give Michael his final thoughts. We've gone over, and yes, I did use the N-word on this show because we needed to make that point. Okay, Miss Gwen, you get your final thoughts.
My final thought is register to vote. Get involved in something in your neighborhood. Go to your next community association, neighborhood association. Go to your library. Just do something. Take the one thing this week, one thing positive that you know is wrong, and say something or do something about it.
I agree. Miss Gwen, we love you so much. How can people get in touch with you if they want to team up with you, Miss Gwen? I love you so much. I thank you. Because you and I are not supposed to agree on everything, but when it comes time for fighting, you already know what it is.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. They can get in touch with me, Gwen Levi, 443-695-6480. That's 443-695-6480. Gwen Levi, 1945 at gmail.com. That's Gwen Levi, 1945 at gmail.com.
Michael Haney said,
to hear from people.
Michael Haney says, thank you, Miss Gwen. He said, a great show. Michael Randolph, you get the final word all the way from Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, well, I do agree with you, man. When it comes to nonprofit, in general, they are what we call ghetto pimps. They come in, they do something, and they leave. What we did in West Tampa was different. We mobilized, organized, and created our own strategic plan, 5-year plan, as to what everybody should do. So when they came into the community, we already knew what everybody was supposed to do. I definitely want to talk about that one day, Donnie. I know I don't have enough time now, but we have a message out to the inner city, the poor communities. Yes, you can. If you got the right plan, you can control the money that's coming in and control the money that's coming out. That's my 2 cents for the day. Love to have a whole hour conversation about that. Thank you, Donnie, for giving me an opportunity. Thank you, Ms. Gwen, for a powerful presentation. And Mike, love you, my brother.
Up the day, down tomorrow. Do your day and everything will follow. Nothing to it but to do it. I got to do it.